Hello, hello. Welcome to another Get at Gaming Plus podcast. I am Alex,
I'm Ben.
and we're here to talk to you for whatever we want to talk about. Man, I hate the shadows on my camera because, like, I have a mustache right now, and I don't like it. Like it looks really bad. Um, but anyway, yeah, it's also because like the light and all that. But anyway, we talk about, besides mustaches, we talk about video games, we talk about anime, we talk about just a lot of random things we like to talk about. Today we're talking about Transformers movies. This has been a long time coming,
Yeah,
because we talked about doing this like quite a while ago, um and we are finally doing it because I have
we
finally
are.
we've seen them all. um and so we have all the Transformers movies. That includes the newest one that came out, that's animated, all the live action Michael Bay ones, and then the original You Got the Touch, You Got the Power. Um so yeah, before we get going on that, Ben, would you like to tell your story?
Yes. So Alex and I record on Tuesdays. And so last Tuesday, we are getting ready to record, and something wasn't right. And if you're watching the video or you're listening, I kind of have a list. Um, I have what's called Bell's palsy. It's a nerve that gets inflamed from an infection somewhere. They really don't know where it comes from, but the right side of my face is not working the muscles. Um, so as we're getting ready to record, Alex is like, hey, I really noticed that. You should go get it looked at. Um, I'm been on meds. It's been about a week. This is not as bad as it has been, but I want to throw it out there. If you notice that my one eye isn't blinking, the good news is all of this will go back to normal. Um, they're pretty confident on it, but you know,
Mm-hmm.
it happens. Uh, it was just kind of a weird thing because I go to the hospital and they're like, "Did you drive?" I'm like, "Yeah, I drove myself," and they thought I was having a stroke. Um, I was gonna get ready to go into a CT scan, and then this doctor comes running in and goes, "No, no, 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 no!" He goes, "Lift your right leg, lift your left leg, put your arms out. What is this?" Like, and I'm like, "Yeah, it's this." He goes, "He's got Bell's palsy. Let's get him meds and get him out." And so, been dealing with that. So if I sound a little different, that's what it is. But the good news is, it will, in a couple of weeks, it'll
Mm-hmm.
hopefully be gone. But I want to throw that out there.
Yeah, thank God that doctor noticed right away, because imagine how much it would have cost to do all those other tests that you wouldn't need to
My
do.
gosh, I think the CT scan is like 30 grand. I think.
Jeez.
Yeah, and my blood pressure was great. It was like 134 over 88, which for me is good. Um, but yeah, so it's gonna be like this for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I talked to Alex a lot more since then, and it does sound better. So, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
It means I'm getting there. But I want to throw it out there. Um, you know,
Yeah.
the, welcome to life in your 40s. It's great.
Yeah.
But
No
I am
thanks.
very excited about this. And like Alex said, it's been a long time coming. I
Yep.
don't, I always say, like, I wonder how these are going to go. I think these are going to go exactly like we're going to be on the same page on everything.
No, we're not.
Really?
We're not.
Well, there's one I know we're not going to be on the same page on. But that's okay. That's
Yeah.
okay.
I'm trying to, I can't tell which ones some of these are. Um so you might need to help me.
Sure.
Um Hang on, I'm going to refresh. All right. So for audio listeners, we're using. Oh, thank God you guys can't see those ads. Wow. So it's like, yo, you wanna? It knows that we're older. Let's just say that. So for audio listeners, we're using the tier ranker or whatever tier maker website, and we're going through here and we're ranking Transformers movies, S through F. We've seen them all. I
Yes.
don't think any of these are going to go in F necessarily, but we'll see. Um,
I don't think so either.
yeah. So I guess we'll just start with the order that you have here, just because it gives a little bit of variety instead of just going from the beginning. Um, all right. So we got the first one here. It's Bumblebee. Um, I like Bumblebee.
Yeah, so did I.
I think it's pretty. I think it's pretty good. There are some issues I do have with it, like the ending and like or the ending like climax, I guess I should say about spoilers for these movies, I guess, because um we're ranking them. So obviously there's gonna be some spoilers here. But like I don't care. Like I guess I care about Haley Steinfeld's like relationship with her dad to a degree,
Right.
but I don't like how they're like, oh yeah, she used to be in diving, but she hates diving because something, dad something, and then she has to dive at the end, and she's like, this wasn't earned.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Um, and I think John Cena's a little strong in it,
hmm
but the first 10 or 15 minutes is where the movie to me it had my full attention. It was on Cybertron.
Yeah,
There were a lot of OG Transformers in there. I saw Wheeljack, I saw, Starscream,
yeah,
um just some old school Soundwave.
yeah,
Uh, it was great. So I think there, for like, we had just that's the first Transformer movie we got that wasn't like a big Michael Bay, you know, let's blow everything up. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, definitely. Like it's still technically Michael Bay, but like yeah, I agree. That was the first one where people kind of woke up and like, oh, these Transformers movies can be good, I guess, lack of a
Yeah.
better term. Like, I'm not saying like the other ones were bad necessarily, but I mean some of them are. But like they can be more, like you said, be more than a stereotypical Michael Bay blow up actiony movie.
Can
Um,
they be more than meets the eye? I mean,
they could, they could.
my wife would be so proud that I did that actually the way I did it. Look at that.
Too bad she'll never watch this episode.
No,
Um, yeah. And so with that, I think that so here's the thing. We can always change these later.
oh, of
Um
course.
I don't know if we ever change I always say we can always change them later, but I don't think we ever do. We mostly whenever we change things, we kind of rank them within their rank. Um
Yeah.
I think for what we got here, I think this is probably an A tier movie. It's A or B for me, but if I make this B, then that means that there's only gonna be like one A tier movie and one S tier movie. And so like and then the rest of them are like C's and D's. And like I don't know if we want to like be that negative with this type of thing. Like because I don't think all of these Transformers movies are bad. Like I think like most of them might be in the C's, but they I think this one stands out above some of the others. So I think that it could be an A or a high B. I just don't know where we want to put it right now. I mean, it is the first one that we're ranking. So again, we can move it if we do realize like, oh, this should actually be with these others.
I mean, I'm with you on the A. and I really am. And I think because it but again, we'll have to wait and see. I'm between an A and a B, kinda like you on that.
Yeah. Um yeah. Okay. So the next one we have is the 80s Transformers the movie. Um you got the touch, you got the power. Um there's it's very well done. It's in 4K now. I don't know if it's an HDR, but it's in 4K. You own it on like Steelbook or something
Yeah,
probably. Um where where do you think this goes?
okay. Now I'm gonna be a little nostalgic. I wanna say S tier, and here's even though as a kid, this was traumatizing,
Yeah.
okay? I was going to this in a time where Transformers was huge,
Mhm.
right? And so I get there, I'm watching, and I'm like, "Oh, here comes Optimus Prime. We're gonna have a he's gonna take everyone out. It's gonna be a good day, right?" But then he dies, and you're like, "Holy crap!" You know? Um, but not just him. Megatron technically was gonna die
Yeah.
and came back as Unicron, who was voiced by Mr. Spock himself. Orson Welles was in this film. I mean, if you don't like it for the sheer story, the music alone was awesome.
Mhm.
Pure 80s music. Uh, so for me, I say S. And I will say that the best version of this is the 4K that came out a couple years ago. That is, it cleans up the film so well. Um, a lot of times in this film, if you have other versions, the colors kind of go in and out. Um, this clears it all up. It's all what the color it's supposed to be. I mean, what are your thoughts?
This movie is pretty good, I will say. If we are giving an S tier to any of these, it would be that one. Just because it is the one that deserves it the most, not just because it is animated, but just because like especially if you watch the show, like going up to that movie and having that climax of Optimus
Yeah,
and Megatron and all that happening, like it's earned. Whereas then when you watch the rest of the show, it's not really that good compared to what that movie did in the older seasons. So
right.
but yeah, it definitely is. It's also cool to see like that something like this did so well in America that it had a movie. Um cuz like He-Man was great or good enough, I would say, but like
Oh
He-Man
yeah.
didn't have an anime movie in theaters, did it? Like
No, the only other one that got one was GI Joe, and they changed the story of GI Joe
mhm.
because they thought, "Hey, we're gonna kill off Optimus. We're gonna kill off Duke, right?"
Yeah.
And then they saw what happened, and they were like, "We screwed up." And so then they decided not to kill Duke in GI Joe. Um, it was to bring in new characters. That's why they were going to do it.
Mhm.
You went from you know Optimus Prime to Rodimus Prime. So I think
Galvatron, all this kind of stuff, yeah.
yep. And so yeah, I think it's kind of weird that it never did,
Mhm.
and that they did the live action He-Man with Dolph Lundgren, which love it or hate it, it's weird. It makes no sense.
Yeah. All right. So what is this one? Is this the first one or what
Yeah.
is this?
So that one is Age of Extinction.
This is Age of Extinction right here.
Yeah, the other one down the end is Last Night.
This okay. Um wait, hold up. Okay, so the one I'm hovering over right now is Age of Extinction.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
You can tell because in the other one, Optimus has the red mark on his face.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you can tell.
Okay.
I am a very large nerd, so way too nerdy.
Yeah. All right. So Age of Extinction is, let's see, that's the fourth movie, right?
Yes, right after
Yes.
Dark Side of the Moon.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Dark in the Moon and Age of Extinction. This is the one with Marky Mark, Stanley Tucci.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, I love this movie. I love
I
this
do
movie a
too.
lot. It's really stupid.
Yes,
Um,
it is.
this is the one with Kelsey Grammer as the villain, the big bad, and he's just evil Frasier. And
I didn't even think it that way, but yeah, he is.
because he does, like, he has his mannerisms of Frasier. It's not like he's
Yeah,
Beast or anything, you know. Because there's two Kelsey Grammers. There's Frasier and there's Beast. um,
yeah, pretty much.
yeah, and so there's a lot of stupidness in this. There's the whole there's a lot of comedy in this.
Yes,
But like stupid comedy, and it thankfully it's not, and we'll get into it in a bit, but like thankfully it's not the comedy where it's, oh man, the parents are high because they had some weed brownies, you know, like not like stupid stuff like that. It's like, oh, they're hitting us with a bunch of comedy. They're doing really stupid things like the Romeo and Juliet clause that he just has laminated inside his wallet.
oh yeah.
Because like I guess he gets called out on this a lot. I don't know. Is he a pedophile? Maybe.
I mean,
Um, like yeah, there's weird stuff about that. But like Mark Wahlberg is not good. But like
no.
I have fun. It's not believable that Mark Wahlberg is a failed inventor, and like
Yeah,
he's essentially, they're treating him like Dr. Emmett Brown, except if he like never like sold anything. And
right.
I guess that's true though. Like Emmett Brown only really made the time machine and that's it. Like everything else he made was a failure. So yeah, I don't know. What are your feelings on this? Because I don't know where this should go.
I, I revisited it when we were talking about this before, and I'm like, there's things I don't like. I don't like how they're taking the bad part of this film is they're killing all Transformers, good
Hmm.
or bad,
Yeah,
and they're using them to make new robots that we control. And the
is
problem
someone with
is that they're
Galvatron,
yes,
or is someone with Galvatron, but they call him Megatron anyway?
yeah, he's like they go, oh, this is Galvatron. It's not Megatron, but he's like, no,
Yeah,
it's me.
yeah.
And like the problem is when they transform, they go into little blocks and then they form back together. And Galvatron is now a semi truck,
Hmm.
just like Optimus.
Yeah.
Um, but what really gets it is the funny scenes. Um, John Goodman plays in as one of the Transformers. He's
Yeah.
good. Stanley Tucci is where it gets me. He is hilarious.
He's always hilarious. I wish he was in
And
more things.
yeah, and so like he kind of makes it um there. The Dinobots, they were okay.
They don't do anything, and Grimlock doesn't talk like Grimlock. So you know,
I really wanted him to be like me, Grimlock, but he
yeah,
didn't. Um, now ranking wise, I would say it's a B
that's what I'm thinking too.
because
Compared to some of these others that we're gonna see here in a bit.
yeah, I mean, because I think there's like good parts, but I think there's others that are like you could do better.
Yeah.
You know, the thing you were saying the other day was hilarious when you were like when Mark Wahlberg finds out the truck he bought. He's like, what he's like, I can't remember the line. You said it.
Oh, it's like it's not him or something like that. And then Frasier is on the other line and he's like in his walkie-talkie, he's like, he said him. And then like all the guys freak out, and then Optimus pops out, and
Yes.
all that. So like it's just weird good line delivery. Like it's really bad scripting, but they deliver it so well.
Like,
That it nails it.
hey guy, I think we have a transformer.
Yeah, I
Like
think we have a transformer.
that whole scene is like, oh God, this is awful. But what makes up for it is Kelsey Grammer and Stanley Tucci really make that up.
I love it how Stanley Tucci knows kung fu like all the other people.
Yeah,
I don't know why. He's just fighting. He's just fighting in China for some reason.
yeah, and I
Um,
think,
and everyone's
I-
fighting him there.
yeah, and like I think it's definitely a good B.
Hmm.
Um, if it wasn't for him or Kelsey, I think it would have been lower.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Because like Mark Wahlberg cannot. It's weird, right? Because like Mark Wahlberg is a lead actor for things. He is the lead actor in this. I don't think he leads this film well.
Right.
Um, it's just all the other people around him. Even TJ Miller for a little bit, like when he's hanging
For the
around.
short amount of time.
Yeah, for the very short amount of time with him. Um, but yeah, cool. Yeah, Transformers can be good sometimes. Um, okay. So let's pull this up. So what what is this next one here?
This is your favorite Dark Side of the Moon,
Okay.
and then
Okay.
Revenge of the Fallen, Lost Last Night, the first Transformer, and then you can get the other ones.
Okay, so this is Dark. Wait, it is Dark and Moon. Okay. Um, I couldn't tell because there's so many different covers. Um, okay, so I'm gonna say it. This movie's trash. You're trash, Brock. I hate this movie. Um, it's it's Shia LaBeouf's last one too,
Yeah,
and he isn't good. This movie, and like I can see why people might like this movie because you're not alone. A lot of people like this movie. Um, they think this is like one of the few good Transformers films. I think there's too much just straight up action and not enough actual story development that's like good. To where like it's a fun action movie. I'll say that. But like as
right.
like a Transformers movie that's trying to tell a cohesive story and I don't know, just do correct things. Like it doesn't I don't think it does the job. Like even the first two, like I think the first two tell better stories than this one. It's just that maybe this one has better action and better CG. Um, but
Right.
and then also there's issues with there's no more what's her face um I forget her name.
Oh gosh, I know who you're
Megan
talking about
Fox.
too.
There's no more Megan
Yes,
Fox.
no more.
There's someone else with them randomly. And they just don't talk about Megan Fox. Um, yeah, I don't know how I feel about this movie. Really, like I've never liked this movie. The first time I watched this movie was at a friend's. Okay, we're gonna tell this story. The first time I watched this movie is I'm not gonna name names, guy. We watched this at like a friend's house as like a party or something, and we were watching it because like semi watching it, I would say, because he was like, "Oh man, this one's the best. It's great," and he was like so excited because there was that little scene at the beginning, with Shia LaBeouf and the new girl. The new girl was wearing like lingerie or something, and then he said, "It's all action from here." That's what he said right after that scene. He's like, "It's
Yeah.
all action from here." So that's like a thing that a lot of us say. I don't even think he knows that we say that because of him. But it was just such a weird, memorable moment of like where it's all action from here. And yeah, it was action. It wasn't good action in my opinion. And then I tried to actually like rewatch it like proper last year or a couple years ago, and I gave it a real chance, and I didn't find it as compelling as the others. Whereas like I think one and two have a lot of downsides. They're at least focused stories, whereas like this one just has a bunch of BS that pops up out of nowhere. And like again, like the I think the action is really cool. And so like if you're just a big action person, like I think that you would enjoy this a lot, and like I can see why you would like it especially. But for me, um and like other people enjoy it too. So I'm clearly in the minority for this, but like for me, I just really despise this film. I just
Right.
don't enjoy it because there's no substance there. It's just action from here.
I think I really like this one. Number one, it has Sentinel Prime is done by yet again the actor who played Spock. I am I'm not 100%, but I think this is close to one of his last roles.
Mm,
And it was great to hear him back on that voice or a
yeah.
voice. And then also, I think what makes it is the introduction of Andy Tunick is great in this, like
Mm,
some comedy. But you're right, it like is a huge percent of action.
yeah.
And like I love it when Optimus comes in, downtown Chicago is completely taken over, right?
Hmm.
Optimus comes in and takes out like at least 10 Decepticons by himself
Yeah.
and then stops the space bridge from Cybertron coming.
Hmm.
And I think that was for me, that's like, okay, so this is why I love it. It also brought back like Tyreek came back, like all these
Yeah.
people that were like in the first one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or
Definitely.
back. And um, but I can see where you're coming from. Um, I do think there should have been a little more dialogue. The stuff with Kim John was hilarious.
Hmm.
He had me, with it. Um, but I can see where you're coming from. Do I think this is an A? No. I still think it's a lower B. I really do. I think if there's more dialogue and it's not throwing in stuff just to throw things in there, it would have been better.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Is this the last one with John Turturro as
yeah,
the agent guy? Because man, I hated him in the first movie like a lot, but then he grew on me on every single other movie he was in, because and then now I like him because he's in Severance. He plays Irving in that. But yeah, John Turturro is like that really cocky um agent or whatever for Sector 7 and all that kind of stuff. And I want to say in this one, like he was let go, so now he just is like hanging out in a coffee house or something, and he was like a writer, and then they like go to his
yeah,
place because they have to go talk to him to for plot reasons and all of that. Um but yeah, I don't know where this would be. I think if we are going to put this at B, I think it's going to be lower than in my opinion. I think it's lower than Age of Extinction, just because the Marky Marks and like all that craziness, and like that was just a fun movie even though it's stupid.
right,
It's very
right.
much a, oh, this is what like entertainment is, you're having fun. It doesn't need to make sense, and it's great. Whereas with this, it's like, oh, there's just a bunch of action. It can be entertaining, but it's not like fun. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll give you that. I think a low B is acceptable
Okay.
on this one. Um, it is I do like it, But you know what's funny? I don't remember the last time I watched it all the way through again. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
maybe I need to. So I'll take a low B.
Okay. So now we have Revenge of the Fallen. Oh boy. Um, because
This
so
one's not my
now I feel like I have to change all my stuff because I just compromise with the B. Um, I think I've said this. I don't know if I said it here. I think that Transformers 2 Revenge of the Fallen is a better Transformers film than the first one, but I think the first movie is a better film
I agree.
because there's a lot of cool things. There's a lot of great things with like the Fallen and all of the exploration. It's very Transformers heavy. Um, the problem is though, there's not. I think this is the movie right where like um Optimus just isn't around. Yeah, Optimus just isn't around for like half the movie, which is weird. Um but so you have to rely on other Transformers. I think that's cool to see like all these others actually having to step up and help out. I hate the Princeton or stuff because there's no way that Sam Witwicky would be going to Princeton first of all. He's
Right.
stupid. um there's also the weird scene where he like almost gets with like a transformer robot and then like a girl like starts to get on him and then she transforms and then tries to kill him. um
Yes.
there's a lot of, not Animal House, but like there's a lot of stuff in the beginning of this film to where it's like, hey guys, remember where a I hope you love those parents because you're going to see a lot of them. I hope you love the human characters because you're going to see a lot of them, at least in the beginning. And like, yeah, there's the thing where the mom like accidentally eats a weed brownie or something, and then
Yes.
she's just high for the whole movie, and you're not even acting like someone who would be high. You're just, I don't even know what she's doing.
Yeah.
I really don't. Like it's just a huge like dramatization of that. Um I think the dad's still funny. I think the dad can be funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um but
Well,
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say this is the first time that they were introducing new Transformers, like you said. I want to bring up that they introduced Ravage
Yeah.
for the first time, and a lot of people that I knew were like, "Oh, it's dumb looking." I go, "No, I think that's like the perfect thing for him,
Mhm.
right? Because he always wasn't like Ravage never went straight on in battle, right?
Yeah.
He was the one that snuck around. Um, but then you had the twins who were hilarious. The only one I didn't like is when they did Devastator, only because even in the original movie from the 80s, they even brought Devastator in and they were like, "Oh no, it's Devastator," right?
Mhm.
Um, it's just a weird way of doing what they could have done with it, I guess. Um, but what I did like number one, very brief cameo from Rainn Wilson. He was the
Oh,
professor.
I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah. But the movie was really good. I agree with you where it's like it was a good second film, but number one just had that moment of like when you see him transform for the first time, like this you already knew they transformed. But yeah, I totally agree with you. Now, where are we gonna put this in the ranking? I don't know. I don't know. Like I was gonna ask you what your thoughts were. I do think it's a good movie though.
Yeah, so I want to say so because I remember there was something, and I think it might have been the first movie, so we can get into that here in a second as well. But like Devastator is actually like properly introduced in this film. as like what he's supposed to be more or less. But in the first film, there's like a bunch of random um Decepticons who are killed or who are
Yeah.
like name dropped, and one of them is Devastator, but doesn't look like Devastator at all.
Oh, yeah, that is right.
Yeah, and I can't find that anywhere here. Um okay, yeah, even though he was named Devastator, he's actually named Brawl. Michael Bay changed his name to Devastator. Okay.
Did
So
he actually look up information beforehand, or is he like,
I
"Nope, this is
guess not.
great."
Yeah. Cause like it wasn't a Constructicon. Like it wasn't anything like that in the first
Right.
film. It was just like some random transformer. Some random transformer. And so yeah, I enjoy this film. See, so now what we're doing, and this is how, like, okay, I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this. Okay. I think this film,
Moment of truth.
I think this film's the highest B we have here.
I agree with you.
Okay.
Totally agree.
Because again, we made compromises and things. So like I have to just like move things around in my head. And especially if we're starting with S and A and having an A tier at all, then yeah, I think this should be a high B. Um I think when we get to the first one, it's probably the first one's probably going to rank higher than this one.
Oh, I agree.
But I don't know where necessarily yet. So the next one is The Last Night. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So The Last Night is a horrible movie. Stanley Tucci is
Yes.
Merlin, and Mark Wahlberg's in it again, for some reason this time, and there's interesting things like there's Unicron, that's gonna
Correct.
show up and all of that, but there's just really dumb lore things to where it's like, oh, King Arthur and the knights, Merlin helped with the Transformers because they landed a long time ago. And like, sure, I guess that kind of makes sense because like Megatron was in the ice caps for how long? Who knows?
Right.
Um sure, but like the problem is that each of these movies that goes way back in the past, like they you keep having to think of like, oh, when did Megatron arrive, and when was all this stuff happening? Like, was he in the ice caps at this point? Like when
Yeah.
all this happened? Who knows? Um, I don't really like any of this. I don't think any of this movie is actually good. And then I forget, is this the one with Hot Rod that we were talking about where he's French?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
He's like a
they put
butler, kind of.
yes. So they put Hot Rod in there, and he is a brand new Lamborghini, right? But he's got a French accent, which is weird. And even though they added Sir Anthony Hopkins, to me, it could not save this film.
Mhm.
Um, in the last film, Optimus decides to go and find his creator, but he was actually taken hostage by his creator and turned evil.
Yeah.
And so that's where this is like, they're like, we got to do this, we got to do this. And like, the thing that got me at the very end, there's a big battle, right?
Mhm.
And like, Mark Wahlberg is fighting full size Transformers with a sword.
Mark Wahlberg becomes Mega Man, right? Is that
Yes.
yeah, cuz he like who's his partner? Who is his partner?
But oh, wait. I think you're thinking of
Am I thinking
Rise of
about
the Beast.
Oh, I'm thinking of Rise of the Beast. Yeah, I
Yeah.
am. Okay. I am thinking of Rise of the Beast cuz yeah, that was Mega Man. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. I am thinking about that. So but yeah, no, he has a sword and like yeah, I don't like this movie. You just reminded me that I don't like this movie. John Turturro though
Thank you.
apparently is in this movie. He's still in
Oh,
this
he
movie.
is.
Yeah, according to this, it says that he's hiding out in Cuba. Um,
Oh, wait, he has, like, a brief yeah, it's not very long,
yeah,
so he is in it.
yeah. So I'm happy he's there doing things, but yeah, I just never. I don't know what it is, but like the first Mark Wahlberg movie knew to play on its strengths of like, I'm Mark Wahlberg. This is a fun movie. We're gonna just mess around. Whereas the second movie is like, yo, death, seriousness, and that doesn't do well for Mark Wahlberg. So
Even though one of the Transformers was Jake the dog, the
that's true.
voices. I mean, even, like and it was one of the I think it was one of the and, like, when they're working with Megatron to get they're working with him to, like, get after what's been
Yeah.
going on. They let him pick who he's gonna bring out. I'm like, "Okay, so this all just seems ridiculous."
Hmm.
Um, Megatron working with the government? No. I don't think it's an F, but I definitely think it's a D,
Yeah.
unless you think it should be an F.
No, I don't think it's. I don't think any of these films are Fs. Like, I don't think
Right.
like they're absolutely horrible. This may have wasted time for me, but like I don't think it's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's still more. Um so now we have Transformers, the very first one, right? Yeah. And
Yes, sir.
first Michael Bay one with uh Megan Fox. Even Megan Fox is back because this is her first film in here with Shia LaBeouf. Um, I think this movie, and I said it earlier, I think this movie is the best movie of the live actions. I think, or mm, yeah, I don't know. I think if we're putting Bumblebee on A, then I think this might either then I think this might be a low A. Um, just because like I think they're pretty on par with each other. Like I don't think they're absolutely the greatest things ever. Because I feel like
Right.
our list is kind of skewed up. Um, but I think that the first Transformers movie is a good and enjoyable movie. It has a lot of stupidness to it, but like it is very much a fish out of water scenario, and you don't really have to do a story yet. You just need a Megatron. You just need an Optimus and I guess Bumblebee and some of the other crew. So like I think it did its job well as a first movie. Clearly well enough to where it was a fifth highest grossing film in 2007 when it came out. And then it spawned the series of live action movies with Michael Bay.
Yeah, I agree. I think when the first time I watched it and you got to see the Transformers show up and then they all transformed, to me, I was like, it was like, you know, 6-year-old Ben, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought that was super cool. I thought the story was good. And you really don't need, you got the good guys versus the bad guys, right?
Yeah.
And it made Optimus look badass, to be honest, the way it should be.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm glad they didn't try to put a voice for Bumblebee. And they're like, oh, his voice box is broken, right? Because I don't want to see him with some weird voice. I just want him to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that I agree. And where you put it, I totally agree as well.
Yeah. It's It's a good film. I don't think it's the greatest film ever. I don't think it's a film I'll probably ever watch again. But like I think it's a good Transformers film, for sure.
Yeah.
Um yeah. So the next one we have is Rise of the Beasts, Mega Man. Um I don't I don't like this film. Um I think it's better than a lot of these, but that doesn't mean I can't not like it, you know. Um I don't like the main character. I don't like Mirage. I don't like a lot of a lot of the things that just happen in this film, but I can understand that it was a while since we had like a real live action Transformers movie again. That wasn't Marky Mark, and it was like so far removed from Desolation. Haha, see what I did
Right.
there. But that's like it's not like post-apocalyptic like Last Night was in certain places. Like it very much was. All right, cool. It's I don't know, whenever that movie came out, like 2020 or whatever. And um it's it's that time period and everyone's kind of gotten past the invasion to a degree. Um but so it kind of gives it like a nice reboot, blank slate to be like a next Shia LaBeouf type thing. Um but I don't think it did well enough, in my opinion, to warrant that. Because I just don't think we need this anymore. Because we have all these animated shows, because we have this anime movie that we're going to talk about last. We really don't need live action Transformers anymore, and I think they understand that now. But
Yeah.
but
See,
it's fine. It's fine for what it
yeah,
is, though.
the reason I liked it is I actually liked Mirage. I liked Pete Davidson.
I
I
don't
thought
like
it was
Pete
like a new,
Davidson.
well, yeah. But I think the other thing I really liked is it wasn't Megatron.
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage plays Surge, um, which was great. It actually showed Unicron. And the reason I liked it was this was a different Optimus Prime. This was one that was not, was upset that he brought his people here and couldn't get people home, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so for him, it's like I wasn't being a good leader. He wasn't very strong. Now the Mega Man scene almost reminds me of the original movie where they put Spike in one of those outfits. You remember
Yeah.
that he could? It was like that, and I get that reference, I guess.
But on a human, I think it was stupid.
Right, right. It was kind of a weird thing there. But I did like this one. Never watched Beast Wars really, but getting Ron Perlman to do, the other side was great.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it was like a good join. But the reason I really liked it was the very end, spoilers, is they're finally gonna do a Transformer with G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Combine them. They had several comics together. So I was excited about that. Now, if they do a G.I. Joe movie with Transformers and they put Channing Tatum in there, I'm not gonna watch it.
I
Because
think he's
that
so far removed from it at this point. I don't think it's going to happen.
when
And
I
also, I
saw
just
that,
don't think this is going to happen at all, unless it's animated.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be a big budget, huge amount of money. Casting has to be right. Let's
Yeah.
just say that. Um, and I don't want Dwayne Johnson in it. Let's just throw that out there. I don't.
No more John Cena.
No, no.
Well, also, it can't be John Cena because how old would John Cena be at that point? Because how old was he in
Right.
the 80s? You know?
I mean,
Give me Chris Evans.
I might be able to get back on that one.
Yeah.
Like, I want someone that's a Duke, not someone that was in Magic Mike. Um, what I will say, I liked it. So I want to say it's at least a B.
Mm-hmm.
There are flaws. Um, I will say the other good thing is at least they looked like what they transformed to in the 80s,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they definitely did.
No hot rod flares on Optimus and stuff like that. And that's what I really liked about it. It was like old school.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can give me that, I
Right.
will take it.
I put it at the bottom, B's. All right. Um, Transformers 1, a movie that is fully CG animation. a movie that had horrible trailers and first looks and everything, and it's a really good movie. I think it might be one of the best ones here. I don't think it's S tier to a degree, but like I do think that it probably is the top of A tier, just because of everything that it does. um I, without giving too much away, because this is just such a more recent film,
Right.
it is it kind of tells like the actual, like, more or less the actual backstory of Megatron and Optimus before the whole like battles and war of Cybertron and all that. And so like how they respected each other, how they were friends, and um very interesting, like political movie too.
Yeah.
Um about how citizens sparks are taken from them at birth. um so that's why like no one can transform, and so there's a certain amount of like primes and people who still had their sparks. And so like you see this in the trailer, but like each of them are given a spark to use to transform. And uh yeah, it's also really cool that there's no earth stuff at all. Like it's not
Yeah.
earth, it's fully Cybertron. It's like in like the weeds of Cybertron, like in like the actual planet. And then you also see the outskirts, like the actual part of the planet where like it's more digital wilderness type stuff. I hate Bumblebee in this film. I'll say that. I really do not like Bumblebee in this film at all. I think his timing and his jokes are very bad. um
Yeah, I agree.
he he also, I don't know, he just repeats his jokes too. And like maybe that's like his character flaw on purpose, because he was trapped in that one place for so long that he doesn't know how to talk to people. But he always just does his like stupid eyes this way, and he's like badassatron, badassatron, and it's like, shut up dude, I don't, stop saying this.
Yeah, that
um
got old. I
yeah,
will I will say I wasn't gonna watch this, and you were the one that talked me into it. He goes, "You need to watch it."
yeah.
Okay. The trailers did not do it good. A lot of really big names in it
Mm-hmm.
besides Chris Hemsworth and John Hamm, um, and stuff like that. But like when I watched it, I'm like, okay, Bumblebee was a little bit much, but other than that, it was really good.
Yeah,
Um, I you always have to have that story of how Megatron became Megatron, how did Prime become Prime,
yeah,
and so I thought it was really good. Um, and I think you're right. I think it was like one of the better tier. I want to say it's going to be in the A range. I just don't know where in the A range.
yeah.
Me personally.
um for it actually, I don't know, telling a story, not doing human things, and telling a story well. And the ending was really interesting, cool too,
Yeah.
just like how it sets itself up for an actual war on Cybertron. um
Mhm.
and so like they could have a sequel to this, and I will be like a day one watcher for this for sure. um I think this is better than Bumblebee, just because I think the two animated films should be close to each other. I don't think should be an S tier, but I think that this should be at least at least an A tier at the highest part.
I agree. I totally agree. And I never would have watched it unless you said, "Hey, you really should watch it." I watched it. I think you would enjoy it. And it was one of the things where I started it and then watched it all the way through.
Yeah. That's the
And the kids
problem.
liked it.
I hate how a lot of trailers just ruin their movies nowadays, where it's just like they try to appease to certain things because they're like, "Oh, this is animated. That means it's a kids movie. So we'll do a bad trailer because we don't care."
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I was saying this the other day. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for Ballerina, the
mm,
John Wick side movie, and he's in it, right?
mhm,
And I'm like, man, they keep showing a lot of him.
yeah,
And I'm like, I'm worried it's not gonna be everyone's gonna be like, well, John Wick is only in it for like, you know, 20 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever.
yeah,
But it's not about him.
yeah,
And so I think they need to get better at trailers, you know?
yeah. I
Or
forget what it was. There was a movie recently where I was like, "Man, that trailer is awful," but you gotta go see that movie because it's really good. And I don't think it was Transformers One. Like, yes, this wasn't,
right.
but I think there was something else recently to where like the trailer was bad, but like the movie was actually really good.
I think the last trailer I saw where I knew the movie was gonna be good, and it was Captain America Civil War, you know? And like and then when they showed Spider-Man, I'm like, done, you know? I was excited for Black Panther, but then they showed Spider-Man at the end of the trailer holding Captain America's shield. I'm like, done, right? That's
Yeah.
to me is good. But like sometimes I watch a trailer, I'm like, this doesn't look interesting at all.
I remember what it was. It was Sonic 3. Sonic Three's trailer's awful. Um, but because Sonic 3 is Sonic 3, like I saw it anyway, and yeah, it's a great
Yeah,
movie. I have that
it is.
pre-ordered. I got Steelbook pre-ordered. That's gonna be here next month. I'm so excited. 4K.
According to Jim Carrey, that really is his last one. He's done.
There's no way. There's no way. He's gonna keep being Ivo Robotnik till the end of time.
I mean,
He loves it.
to be honest, I love Jim Carrey. Um, and it was sad to see him like, I don't want to do it anymore, right?
Yeah.
The fact that out of all the movies he could have come back for, Sonic was it. I mean, what's that tell you right
Hmm.
there? And the whole dynamic between him and his grandfather, hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, you weren't kidding. We watched it. I already knew I was gonna like it, but like I was like, man, this is really good. I think my kids have watched it like 13 times.
Wow.
They keep rewinding the dance scene. That's their favorite.
I hate that scene so much because
Oh my god, they love it.
I guess I don't hate the scene, but like it's way too long. Like it feels like it's 12 minutes long, but I know it's only
Yeah.
like 4 minutes long. That's still too many minutes.
It is, but it's a good movie.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So we will go through our stuff here to see um for you audio listeners. So we'll go through all of the movies as we have ranked them. So S tier is Transformers the movie from the 80s. Then A tier is Transformers 1, which is the latest animated film. Then Bumblebee, then the original Transformers from like 2007 or 2006, I forget which. Um, and then we have in B tier, we have Revenge of the Fallen, which is the second one. We have Age of Extinction with Marky Mark. Dark of the Moon. Then we have Rise of the Beasts, and then there's no C tier, but there's a D tier, and that is The Last Night. You know what we didn't even talk about? We didn't talk about Lincoln Park.
Oh yeah, they did like at least for a majority of the movies, they
Yeah,
did the sound.
they did the trilogy, and then for Marky Mark stuff they left. I want to say, and then they came back for Rise of the Beast, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
because yeah, they were big, like What I Done and all of that. Like they made music specifically for the Transformers films.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering though if that had to do with the lead singer
Hmm.
passing away.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, because his when he when he passed away, it was obviously very sudden.
Hmm.
and I wonder if that was it. But I do know that they were in Rise of the Beast.
Yeah.
So
Yep. So hope you all enjoyed this episode of where we were talking about Transformers. If there are other things that you would like us to rank or talk about, you can definitely find us a lot of different places. Man, I hate how this light is. There we go. It's a little better now. You can find us on Blue Sky. You can find us pretty much anywhere. You can post at us, tweet at us, whatever the proper terminology is. You can write comments. You can write a comment. I'll try to heart them if I remember. Because sometimes you just post a video and you walk away and you just never see it again. Thank you all the people who are still watching the Ever After Falls review, because I look at those analytics and like once a week it says like, oh, 45 people are watching this, and
it's
thanks.
crazy.
Yeah. It's still getting traction because like I don't know how many people actually talked about the game. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, if you're listening on podcast services, go ahead, find us on YouTube. We do live streams every once in a while. We do exclusive episodes such as Sonic the Hedgehog, the OVA series, or China O'Brien. Which one's doing better? I think actually China O'Brien's doing better than Sonic the Hedgehog, um, as far as analytics go, and that's not saying a whole lot because it's the OVA series. But yeah, you can find a bunch of different stuff over there. Again, you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter, formerly Twitter. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us anywhere. You can find us on Google. Go DuckDuckGo and search us up, and then you can find more of our stuff there. But you can email at us if you need to. Our email's pretty public. If you want to work with us, if you want to collab, if you want to do something fun. Be on an episode if you're qualified enough, I guess. I don't know. There's certain things like I'm not just gonna have some rando who I
Right.
definitely don't know who they are, and like they um have the worst mic on earth or something like that. And but like yeah, if I know you and if I know your work or whatever, then yeah, talk to us. We can try to do something. We can do a stream. We could do something. Hit us up. But Ben, do you have anything else to say to the lovely people at home?
Just to get at it.
Get at it.